Imagine the year is 1983, and the sky above Moscow has just turned into a blinding second sun as a 3-megaton warhead detonates directly over the Kremlin, vaporizing the entire Soviet leadership in a fraction of a millisecond. Within minutes, every major city from Leningrad to Vladivostok is reduced to a landscape of radioactive glass, leaving no generals to give orders, no president to authorize a counterattack, and no human finger left to press the red button of revenge. You would think the war is over and the aggressor has won, but you would be terrifyingly wrong, because deep beneath the Ural Mountains, a hidden electronic brain has just detected the seismic shockwaves of the explosions and felt the sudden spike in atmospheric radiation. This machine, cold and indifferent to the extinction of its creators, begins to pulse with life, bypassing every human failsafe to initiate a final, ghostly command that will ensure that if Russia falls, the entire planet will burn alongside it. This is not the plot of a dystopian thriller. This is the reality of Perimeter, a Soviet doomsday device known to the West as the Dead Hand, a system that may still be active today, holding the entire human race hostage from beyond the grave. The logic behind building such a nightmare was born from the darkest depths of Cold War paranoia and the terrifying doctrine of mutually assured destruction, where peace was only maintained by the guarantee that an attack would result in total global suicide. By the early 1980s, the Soviet High Command became obsessed with the fear of a decapitation strike, a lightning-fast American nuclear attack that could destroy their communications and leadership before they could even realize a war had begun. To solve this, they didn't just build more missiles. They built a semi-autonomous god of war, a network of underground sensors designed to monitor the pulse of the nation like a heartbeat. If the system detected the specific seismic signature of nuclear detonations and found that the high-level communication lines to the general staff were silent, it would conclude that the government had been annihilated. At that moment, the system would automatically transfer the authority to launch the entire Soviet nuclear arsenal to a handful of low-ranking officers hidden in deep shielded bunkers, men whose only job was to follow the machine's lead and initiate the end of the world. What makes the Dead Hand truly chilling is the terrifying secret of its command missiles, which are specially modified rockets that carry no warheads, but instead house powerful radio transmitters designed to fly across the ruins of the Soviet Union. Once the system is triggered, these missiles soar through the radioactive clouds, broadcasting high-frequency launch codes to every hidden silo, every prowling submarine, and every airborne bomber that survived the initial strike, turning a defeated nation into a vengeful ghost army. Perhaps the most insane detail of this entire project is that the Soviet Union never officially told the United States that the Dead Hand existed during the height of the Cold War. In the twisted logic of nuclear deterrence, a weapon only works if your enemy knows you have it. Yet the Soviets kept Perimeter a closely guarded secret, meaning they were prepared to let the world end by accident rather than reveal their ultimate failsafe. It wasn't until the 1990s, after the fall of the Iron Curtain, that high-level defectors revealed to a stunned Pentagon that for years, the fate of the world had been tied to an automated system that didn't need a human to start a nuclear holocaust. Decades have passed since the collapse of the Soviet Union, and while the hammers and sickles have been lowered, the shadow of the Dead Hand has only grown longer and more sophisticated in the age of artificial intelligence. Military experts and intelligence agencies believe that Russia has not only maintained the Perimeter system, but has significantly upgraded it to integrate with modern hypersonic missiles and advanced early warning satellites. In an era where cyber warfare can cripple a nation's command structure in seconds, and AI can make decisions faster than any human general, the prospect of a machine-led retaliatory strike is more relevant and more dangerous than it was in 1985. We live in a world where the decision to end civilization might not be made by a leader in a situation room, but by a series of algorithms buried in a mountain, waiting for a signal of silence to justify the final fire. As you look at the horizon today, you must realize that the machinery of the apocalypse never truly went away. It is simply waiting, listening to the earth, and ready to fulfill its singular, horrific purpose of ensuring that no one survives the next great war.